Welcome to Speakeasily versus the 80s. We're your tropical oasis of 80s bad taste in this bland desert of modern garbage. We're your ticket to schlock paradise, where the hair is always teased and the pants are always hot. We're the four-barreled rocket launcher to your March 1984 Playboy's Playmate of the Month. We're the explosive blow-up doll to your handstanding skateboarder. What am I getting at? We're just the trash cast beaming at you from the far-off central galaxy. Thank you for once again picking up what we're throwing down. I'm Odessa Lil. With me, as always, are my comedy life partners and co-chairs of sanitation, Klingon Vanna White and Shecky Davis Jr.
Greetings and salutations.
Hello.
Hey, what have you two been up to?
Not much. Yeah, living vicariously through special agents in Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching a lot of movies and TV shows and stuff, and I don't know. I'm running out of stuff, and now now I have to start watching stuff with subtitles.
Yeah, I started reliving my missed black youth. So we got all these streaming services, and so I started watching all of the old 90s, like late 90s, late 80s black sitcoms. So I started with the Cosby Show.
Oh no.
Then I went to A Different World. Then I went to Living Single. Then I tried to do Hanging with Mr. Cooper, but I was like, fuck that shit.
Oh, I love that show.
No, it was horrible. Horrible.
Wait, are we allowed to watch Cosby again?
I did.
I don't know if you're allowed to admit it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I roofied myself and watched some Cosby.
That shit was great.
It was great.
Yeah, I roofied myself with Jello pudding. It was great. It was a haze. It was a fog. Then I watched. Then I went to Girlfriends and I watched that show, and that show was just like, it had funny moments, but damn, them black women, so much drama, so much drama.
Dude, speaking of, do you remember 227?
Oh yeah, that show was great. Loved it. Because from there, from that show, we went to Sister Sister, who had Jack A. Harry, who was in 227. So, yes, it all comes back to 227.
See what happens, people? We're really hitting the end of the internet. Like, we've seen everything, and we're watching 227.
Yeah, and so now after that, we are watching Moesha. And then from Moesha, we will go into the Parkas, because the Parkas was a spinoff of Moesha. So yes, I'm getting all of the 90s stuff. And I'm glad that you said 227 and not 227. That means you got a little black in you.
Wait, let me check. Yep.
All through injection. Yeah, through injection, because you're a naughty girl.
So Klingon, you haven't watched all the movies and TV if you haven't started watching 227.
I don't remember. Like, there's a time in the 80s around that time, like after 83, where I didn't have a television for 10 years.
Wow.
You think you're better than us?
Yeah.
So no, I just have no concept of like these shows. I didn't watch TV for 10 years, or at least not regularly.
This is when you were an art student.
She thinks she's better than us.
She is. She actually is. She is. She's a better Aryan stock than we.
Oh, please.
Can we talk about your 23andMe?
Oh yeah. Well, as my ex-German boyfriend told me, you are a weird Irish mix.
You are a weird Irish mix.
Damn.
Guy.
Probably a slight.
I know it was.
Wow.
Yes,
hey,
yes. The racism was extra tasty.
My girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, African American, and she was just like, he's a racist. He's a racist. And I was just like, what?
I don't know.
Total gaslighting. It was okay. It was the 80s. I could gaslight people that it was okay.
I love him.
Holy shit.
I love him.
And then when he said that, it was just like, God damn it, she's right. I felt so guilty now.
Yeah, because you can no longer enjoy the dick. It's like, damn it.
I admitted it before. What is it? Justin Timberlake.
So he's canceled now, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Now that we've offended everyone, let's bring on our guest, if she hasn't already left. Today, we welcome back a returning guest. Can you believe that they came back? I mean, some people just never learn.
No, it just
Right.
means that we need more money from blackmail.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
You work on that since you're the blackmail.
Hey,
Annalyn Bond is a drag performer, cosplayer, fashion design student, creative costumer of cats, and devout
What?
member of the First Church of the Sacred Silversexual, a Bowie music performance drag collective based in San Francisco. Welcome back, Annalyn.
Thanks. It's great to be back under such strange circumstances.
It is like stranger than normal.
was it strange or strained?
Strange and strained. I mean, some moments of the pandemic I would say are strained. Some are better than others. All of it's strange.
Yeah, we've all got the hemorrhoids now.
No, I mean I was saying because I strained my poop to re-eat the corn because I'm scared to go out.
Oh, that's
What are you talking about?
You took this to the worst possible corner of the room.
What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just being practical, okay?
Corn.
Okay.
fur.
I reuse my urine. I pick out the corns in my poop because all that stuff you gotta reuse.
You're in
I
love.
don't use toilet paper anymore.
What do you use?
Hawaiian shirts. I've been ripping up little sheets of Hawaiian shirts and just going to town.
We don't want Annalyn to leave.
Your plumbing must be a
Yeah.
disaster.
She can't. We're blackmailing her because I'm the blackmail.
That's right. Resident blackmail. Costumes for cats, Annalyn? What? This is like a new foray for you, isn't it?
I mean, it is. And, they're not always willing. So there are some consent issues involved with costuming your cats.
Dude,
But,
no means no.
It does. So, like, the only good, I mean, of course, like, I shot a little like Lion King video with them and they all hate the Lion King headdress. They avoid it like the plague. We have some bunny ears for them. We have bat wings and angel wings. And of course, like the black cats, we can't really put the bat wings on them because you can't see them. So they are the angels and then the ginger cat gets to be the bat. And that goes okay. But I think the most successful cat cosplay we've found is a Twin Peaks one because turns out one of our cats really likes being in like enclosed spaces. So I made him a little log so I could dress up like the log lady. And then,
Brilliant.
my log does not judge. He's pretty happy in the log. Yeah. I get a
Yeah.
cosplay buddy and he gets his needs met.
Which is to be
That's the
wrapped
best.
up. And does
Is
the
it-
cat watch Twin Peaks? Does he even get it?
You know,
But he gets
only
it.
one of the three cats actually watches Twin Peaks, but he looks constantly mystified with these big white eyes, kind of like I do when I watch Twin Peaks. I mean, is there is anything actually happening? Is it all a dream? Does anything mean anything, really? I mean,
But
yeah.
that's a
When-
larger question for existence. So
yeah, as
Yeah.
well as David Lynch,
So you're a really active performer before the end times started, and
I was.
hey, we've all been on some stages together. How have you been dealing with the pandemic and your performing life?
I have to say it's a totally different thing. I know we've made some fun videos which have been kind of hilarious here and there. But it's kind of sad not to be able to meet up with people. Like filming my part of a video on my own in my house. Like it's fine, but it's also
Mhm.
just like, where are the people? Where's the fun? Where's the crowd? Where's the
Right.
people enjoying it?
Like we can make these collaborative videos, but we're still all like isolated away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's nice to have the option to like make videos, but it also, there's something so magical about being with people and in front of people that, has definitely been I've definitely missed a ton.
Yeah, like the participation of hearing an audience. Like if you're dying up there or if they love it.
Or in my case, if they're just totally mystified at like what the fuck is happening. My last number actually was a double header, and it was like the week before everything shut down. There weren't that many people in the bar, and I was thinking as we were performing, like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this because of this COVID thing. But I guess I just won't put my tips in my mouth tonight, which I did like the week before. And I
Oh.
did a Chuck Tingle number with, me as a dinosaur, a unicorn butt cop, and a sexy billionaire jet plane. And yeah, there were a lot of mystified faces in that room, but I'm particularly proud of it.
And for the listeners who don't know, Chuck Tingle.
He writes erotica, but I'd put erotica in quotes because it's more humorous than anything else. It's like, you know, Donald Trump pounded in the butt by Hanson Rush and T-Rex, who has blackmail material of him peeing on someone else's butt or something like that. You know, or buttception. That's a great one. A butt inside a butt inside a butt. It's like better than Christopher Nolan. It gets very meta, and they're hilarious. And you know, Chuck Tingle makes some great podcasts. I just would caution people against driving while listening to them.
Why?
Oh man, the fake news real boners one. I almost crashed my car, I think, on the way to see you. You know, because you just start laughing, you can't stop. I mean, the hilarity just compounds and it just gets ultra surreal. And you know, it's you know, you can't listen to it and drive at the same time. It's not safe.
There's certain podcasts that I won't listen to with the windows down because I'm afraid the people in the next car are going to think I'm like a complete ghoul. Like, because I listen to a lot of true crime stuff. And there'll be like a description of hacking up a body in a tub or something, and then I look over and there's this like woman looking at me.
Really? Has that happened to you?
Yeah, people have heard my podcast. I've seen people hear podcasts through my window.
You need to smile at them. Like, hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
You need a bloody knife prop that you can just hold up. Like,
just hold it up
give a smile.
Okay, so if you can tell us a little bit about the first church of the Sacred Silversexual.
Oh man, I think it's about 10 years old. My first show with them was 2016, 2 days before Bowie died on his birthday. It's amazing. It's basically we do a 2-night celebration of Bowie's birthday in San Francisco every year with a live band. I think it's something like 13 people in the band, and drag performers for every number, kind of bringing the Bowie songs to life. And in the before times, we actually we played during Jazz Fest in New Orleans, which was amazing. We were going to do that again last year and go to Europe for the first time.
Oh God!
Yeah. It's music, it's drag, it's art.
It's so much fun. It's such a great show,
as you well know.
And speaking of alternate realities, let's get into today's movie. In 1987, a longtime director from ABC's Wide World of Sports named Andy Sidaris gave the world the gift of big guns, big boobs, and a toxic tourist-eating monster snake in the coked-out classic Hard Ticket to Hawaii. When I say this film has everything, I really mean it has a champion skateboarder, a frisbee death scene, at least 3 Playboy Playmates, explosions, karate, umbrella drinks. I mean, it's the best fantasy a 10-year-old boy could ever have. And it was chosen to be today's movie by Annalyn Bond.
Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm actually really excited you chose this because this is one of my favorites.
I have to say, on the spectrum of like bad 80s movies, which, go from like excruciating to like hysterically funny, this is at the hysterically funny end.
It really is.
It has horrifying moments of, casual racism and rape jokes, which are very
Nose
disconcerting, but right, and nose hair, some very thick thickets of nose hair. But there's
Like,
also
a
a lot
with
that is
that?
cheesy and entertaining.
Hang on, who was it that had the nose hair in the movie? Because I missed it.
It was the blonde guy on the beach with the gun that played frisbee every day that they called
yeah.
Shades.
Yeah.
Good old Shades, of course.
Good old Shades. But he also looked like the sportscaster announcer. There was like a lot of like tan blonde guys, and there were a lot of tan blonde women. And I got the 2 blonde guys confused. I got the 2 blonde women confused. We actually, and did tell us a great way to tell them apart, which actually worked.
Well, they had the same haircut and wore the same outfit, so
it's their tits. They have different tits, like totally different tits. So it's like, okay, bigger boobs that hang a little lower is Donna, so she's always got, some like lower cleavage, and then like the higher perkier one is Taryn. And once
Yeah,
you know
and then-
that, you can actually tell them apart. And their nipples are
But you
totally
can
different,
also-
actually.
Yeah,
Totally different.
yeah, different.
And their shirt, yeah, we need their shirts off to ID them, and actually their shirts are off quite a bit.
So I just have to say that I felt very like I saw so many titties. Like there were so many titties. I think after that, I think I became straight because of all the titties I saw. It was just like titty
Whoa,
here, titty there. Like there was titties in the first like 5 minutes of the movie. There were titties, and I was like, wow, like them
This is
some
true.
big old titties. And I was like, okay, so this is the kind of movie we're at. Okay,
Have you been converted?
just for white titties. That's it. Just
Whoa! But they could be on anything. They could be
yes.
on cable.
And I was mad though because there was like so many titties and not any hair on any of them. I was like sad.
Wait,
Like if it had been a furry chested titties, I'd have been fine. But they're all smooth and tanned. Ugh.
Like the 80s. Everything was smooth and tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well-
high-waisted
And
thongs.
random black people.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, yes.
The only two random black people in the movie. I will say this about Sedaris. He's got cheesecake on both sides. Like he's got men, he's got women. And nobody's wearing a lot of clothes.
But I'm surprised that like Amy and her brother never talked about this guy. Like
I
like,
know.
Are they not friendly with him?
They're not related.
What?
I was so confused too because I was just like, when Odessa Lil pointed out who the director was, who was the big guy that that kept casually harassing the woman in the dining room.
Yeah.
It's really harassing. He was not catching.
He has his
Yeah,
own cameo
yeah,
in his
that-
own movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he was talking about like, hey, I want to see your tits. It's like
it was just like he
Crazy.
seems a lot bigger than the other very slight Sedarises that I'm used to.
I'm just gonna point out that it's spelled different.
yeah, I thought that they spelled it differently to get away from him. Like he was their crazy Uncle Buck older brother, and they were like fuck that guy. He makes TNA shit. Fuck that guy. And then it's like so they changed their name, but because their name is so synonymous with like art, they kept it, but then changed the spelling of it.
I think David and Amy Sedaris would totally embrace him with open arms. My
Yeah.
understanding of them,
Who knows? Maybe it was when they were younger.
related or not, he really like. I feel like he changed cable television. Like, because a lot of these were the movies that he made. This is actually the second one in the series of kind of big boobs, big guns movies.
Like 5 of them. Oh,
Oh,
Aren't there like
there's a ton.
15 or something?
Yeah, there's like 15. There's a bunch of them. Let's see. He started with
Malibu Express.
Malibu Express. Thank you. And I actually like Malibu Express quite a bit. This one is the best though. Hard Ticket to Hawaii is definitely the best. But
Totally.
a lot of these were straight to cable, and I feel like cable just really, really embraced this and went in this direction after he made these movies.
Were they like
soft
not even
porn.
Skinamax stuff? Was it just like, oh, it's 1 a.m. and a station is just like cable station slapping this movie on? Like,
Yeah, I feel like this became like the yardstick for what we expected from movies in the late 80s. It's like they have to have a bunch of boobs, they have a bunch of casual nudity, and there's got to be explosions. We need all of this in one movie. It really is like a kitchen sink approach because you're going to entertain everybody. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
toilet snakes, killer frisbees,
Kung Fu,
blow up
Totally.
dolls. Yeah.
skateboarding.
Oh my god. You know,
Handstand skateboarding, man. That shit is hard.
In bazookas.
well, that guy was a pro.
I mean, you would have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, doing a handstand on its own is really hard. Doing a handstand on a skateboard and
yeah.
rolling down a freaking hill. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That scene of the the handstand skateboarder and with the blow up doll, I mean, is probably the most famous scene from this movie. This is why people know about this movie. Is like
Oh, really?
that clip went around the internet every few years that clip goes around the internet. But that guy, his name is Russell Howell, and he was actually a champion skateboarder. And this is just the magic of Andy Sidaris, because that's someone he picked up from his exposure to the sports world through Wide World of Sports. Like you might look at these actors and be like, quote unquote actors. It's like, where did he find these people? It's like, well, because there's football players, there's Playboy Playmates, there's skateboarders, there's champion frisbee guy. There, he's got such a rogues gallery of professional weirdos.
And he basically said, "Hey, you want to come to Hawaii and look at titties?" And they're like, "Sure."
That's exactly
Who
what
doesn't?
happened. Yeah.
How many
Get
people
drunk and do coke?
Yeah, how many people got paid in cocaine to do this movie? That's what I want to know.
If you
All
read
of them?
if you read the trivia, like that main girl, like she had a really horrible alcoholism problem, But
Is it
Donna.
Donna with the larger areolas,
Yeah.
or the other one? With
Donna
Donna.
Spear.
yeah, so she had a horrible like alcohol problem. But I guess the guy was like, or Andy, was very like sympathetic and like had a driver standby for her if she'd ever need to go to rehab or anything. So even though he was making these like shitty schlocky movies, like it seemed like he was really like loyal to these people, because the one guy, Romero, that guy, this was the first movie that he was in, but he's been in a bunch of his movies. So
And that's
I think
the evil guy that gets his face shot.
yeah, and like he had so many comebacks, like more than Jason almost. I was like, damn, this guy's a Terminator. The fuck?
Yeah. He's
Wait, so
Rasputin.
Romero, the character,
Yeah,
keeps coming back?
yeah, at the end. But no, not the character, the actor. The actor has been in a whole bunch of his movies.
Oh, okay. I was
so
like,
it's like
I thought maybe.
Oh no. So but it's like he's really loyal. So I guess there's like a couple of people that like he always made movies with. See, and I when I saw that and I heard that, I was like, oh my god, he's like the Wes Anderson of like boob movies. So I was like, that's so cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, he created a family. And
Yeah.
what's funny is his wife was also working on these films. And like they would all, like with all the actors, they'd all hang out together, and he totally cared for them. He hired them over and over again. Like Donna Spears, she, no matter how fucked up she was in this movie, which she doesn't appear too fucked up.
She doesn't appear fucked
but
up
he
at
had her
all.
back.
She's a high functioning addict.
Oh, yeah, alcoholic. Yeah, she was just, but I guess she was like so like drunk in almost every scene. She looked back at it and she was just sad about the her performance. And I was like, I wouldn't have known, girl, at all.
No.
Oh.
Compared to everyone else, you're doing fine.
Yep.
Yeah, you told me that, and I was trying to watch both girls at the same time and try to figure out which is the one that was drunk. And I kept thinking it was the Taryn one, because her
one with the big
delivery.
areolas is the drunk one.
Yeah, but the other one with the smaller areolas has such a wooden delivery of her lines that I was just like, oh yeah, that's like when I would be like, ah, yes, this person in the other room, but.
But I say Donna's best line though. I just shot Seth Romero in the face. Sorry, I sat down and wrote a whole bunch of quotes and sent it to Odessa. I was like, what do you got me into? So I literally was like, all these quotes can go on a shirt. Fantastic.
They really can. Totally. Okay, yeah. So I guess we figured out that alcohol and drugs can dilate your areolas.
Yes.
Annalyn, is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm not a boob expert.
You know how to handle
It's
boobs.
possible.
I am, and I can just say that they do. Well, at least if you're a guy and you have boobs, they will get your areolas will get very, very dilated.
Sir, can I see your areolas?
Stop them! It's like I gotta check to see if you're drunk. Show me your areolas.
I'm sure that line has been used.
Well, something to remember about both of those two actresses that look exactly the same is that they're both Playboy Playmates. And there's actually the character of Eddie, played by Cynthia Bermhall, was also a Playboy Playmate. And,
The one who had that inexplicable part where she just like undresses and takes off her top to put on her bathing suit. We have a 10-second shot of her in the pool, and then she comes back and gets changed again, and you're like,
Okay.
Wouldn't even make a pretense of integrating that.
She's like, I have to change my clothes real quick to go pick up my friend who's stuck on the side of the road.
No, she changes to go to the pool. And then after she's in the pool, she has to come back and take off her clothes again. It's like a total, like, it's a boob sandwich.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
all that
why?
part's about.
Okay, anyone
It
who
must
takes
be in
your
the
clothes
contract.
off. Yeah, if you're a Playboy Playmate, you're taking your clothes off in this movie.
Many
It's not even
times.
in the contract. You just do it. He's probably like, action. Why are you taking your chop off?
Why not?
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to get into it. This is realism.
I'm getting paid in Coke, all right? Okay, so as hard as this is going to be, let's try to tease out the plot of this movie.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
I mean, what a pile. Okay, so the movie opens with like the best credit sequence that you can ever imagine.
It's practical credits using those crates in the warehouse. It's actually great.
I mean, did they save money by doing that? I don't know, but it's cool.
It's cute. I mean, it's not a badly shot film is the thing. It actually looks pretty decent. The locations are amazing.
Oh, there's beautiful shots
It's
in this
cheesy.
movie.
Oh yeah, the aerial shots, you're like, yeah, this is like a cheesy titty movie,
Wait,
but
wait,
it,
did you say areola shots or aerial shots?
Oh, both of them. Both.
Okay.
Both are great.
Okay.
The boobs are very well lit and framed.
Worth saying, this was shot in Molokai, Hawaii, where Andy Sidaris had a house. So everyone was just invited to his house to make this movie. What a lucky dude. It was with all that wide world of sports money, because it is beautiful out there. And they obviously had access to everything. Helicopters, guns, some fake guns,
A lot of fake
Some
guns.
Coke, some alcohol.
Coke, explosions.
Real boobs, fake boobs.
Oh, did you see any fake boobs in there? I'm not good at
No,
this.
I think they're all real. I think they're all real.
I had no idea.
They looked real to me.
Yeah, they seem pretty real actually.
Yeah.
Seen some amazing fake boobs up. Amazing.
Back then too.
No, I don't think it was as prevalent then.
Yeah, I think these chicks were all natural. One thing I really like about everyone is like the women are kind of muscular, and I don't mean the bodybuilder who we'll get to later. But all the women were like kind of capable. Like there's no waifishness happening.
Definitely not.
They were kicking and punching.
I just want to know if Klingon had that hair back in the day. You know, that kind of blonde, like lion's mane kind of thing. Did you have that, Klingon?
Feathered helmet.
Definitely.
You did?
Definitely. Yeah.
I could see it.
And I've got a picture of myself like actually pre that day, like when I had shorter hair, and I straight up look like Leif Garrett.
Oh wow.
And then the next day you were just like Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah,
Somehow.
you know, that's just the difference that boobs makes.
How about areolas? What kind of difference do the areolas make?
Depends if you're fucked up or not.
We were trying to talk about the plot and we immediately got sidetracked with
Because like I felt a kinship to these ladies because my areolas stay dilated, okay?
Plot is boobs.
That's
Boobs
true.
is plot.
Yeah, it's very very confusing and distracting because
But there's diamonds. There's a cancer snake that gets swapped with like a real snake that they're supposed to take to a nature preserve.
Like, what was that about? Like, I don't understand that movie. I didn't ever really understand the snake.
There's two snakes. Okay, let's talk this out. Okay, so it starts off with these two drug enforcement policemen, I'm guessing. They're walking around Molokai and they're just saying like, hey, we see these guys, we're like, hey bro, take it easy, and our job's really easy. But then they like walk up and they see some drug kingpin action. It's like some kind of drug operation or just something bad is happening. That's where we first see Shades. And we know he's no good. Basically these henchmen kill the two cops.
The old cop is like, I retire next week. And I was like, what? Is this guy Danny Glover all of a sudden?
Totally! I'm getting too old for this shit. Okay, so we have that's established that there's some nefarious shit going on the island, right? And then we meet the two ladies. We meet Donna and Taryn. And we're to believe that I guess one's like a drug enforcement secret agent. That's Donna. And then her partner is Taryn, and who we later find out is part of the witness relocation program. So she's like
I didn't
undercover.
catch that.
I
Yeah,
had
I
to see
did
this
too.
movie
It
3
made no
times.
sense.
Yeah, I know. I got it on my third viewing, which was last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I'm like, how the hell are you witness protection yet you're like fighting crime? It was just like you're supposed to stay
Right?
out of danger, but whatever.
Yeah,
She just
that was
distracts them
your-
with her boobs.
That's right.
That was your third viewing, and you still couldn't count how many boobs.
I know. I
But
still
are
couldn't
we
count
missing
the
something
boobs.
from the? But are we missing something from the first movie though? Like, was she in the first movie? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, is there like a narrative that
There
we're-
actually is. Yeah, I'm happy
Oh.
you asked. In the Andy Sedaris world, there is a through line throughout his movies. Like, you'll notice that in this movie, there's all these references to Malibu Express, his first movie. Like, the
Lord.
boat is called Malibu Express that they're on.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then later, when we go to the girls' house, there on the wall is a Malibu Express poster. So he's very
Smart.
careful to make all these references, and he's got his own universe or multiverse, I guess.
It's like the MCU.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he
But
did
with tits
with bigger
and
tits.
cancer snakes and killer
Cancer
frisbees.
snake.
Whatever the hell.
Okay, so for whatever reason, these two blondes, these two twins, they're undercover for like what are they, a cargo company? Can someone help me with this? What is that?
Molokai Cargo is
Molokai Cargo.
supposedly who they're working for. And yeah, they're supposed to deliver a snake to a nature preserve and drop off some honeymooners for like a day.
Yes.
But the snake gets switched with a cancer snake that like the Department of Health put aside. Like, I mean, cancer snake,
Why
what the
you-
hell? But also, why are you keeping the cancer snake around? Like,
yeah, where was
It's a
that
highly
supposed to go?
toxic snake.
Yes, it
Highly
was
toxic.
infected from toxins from cancer-infested rats.
That's very specific, but whatever.
It was very specific. And it's hard to take it seriously when it's said, but it's said in all earnestness.
and then they lose the cancer snake. They're
Uh,
supposed to deliver it and they lose it. And then it's just roaming around.
Yeah, it gets free. But the thing is that there's two snakes, right? And the other snake is never mentioned again.
Because
Yep.
they leave it. They left it in the back where all the crates were. So
Oh, I thought they were both free on the island.
no.
Okay.
The other one never got out. It just remember it was covered, and they basically he told the guys at the beginning, "You guys messed up. There's a dangerous snake," and the guys were like, "Oh well," and then that was kind of it. Yeah, the other snake just stayed where it was. It was in the crate.
God, that poor snake. To this day, he's still in that crate.
Probably.
Okay, so they drop off the honeymooners in like some remote location on the island, but they see some kind of like remote controlled little airplane drone
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a helicopter. It was cute.
Yeah, but they were like, this is state of the art. This is they know immediately that it's like a drug dealer's airplane for whatever reason.
Well, they say something about like, I mean, they work all these like James Bond references, everything. I love James Bond. I love all the James Bond, which is bullshit because George Lazenby. And then like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
come
this
on.
is like straight out of like a Bond movie or whatever. So they're like, oh, this is obviously a supervillain's toy. Ooh, what is this in here? Like, let's take this box. But of course, like, you know, the henchmen come out and jump them. And I love that like either Taryn or Donna like just pulls like a ninja star out of the pocket of their little tiny like hot pant coverall things.
Oh, they're
I
what?
thought- it was in her boot. It was in her boot.
Cover not
Okay.
cover nothings.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
she
in her
just
boot.
pulls
She-
She pulls out a freaking ninja star and just like throws it at the dude. And it looks like it just like implants itself in his chest, but he's like bleeding profusely. It's really, I don't know, it's kind of great. And it's the only time she uses the ninja star in the whole thing.
Yeah, and throughout the whole movie, that guy is holding his shoulder. And I don't know. See, for me, I thought that was the most believable part of the movie because they're blonde. They obviously know what they're talking about. They knew through experience about how drugs are being transported. So I thought that was fantastic. Totally believable. I was really into it.
Immediately, we know they're heroes. These chicks could take care of business. That remote controlled helicopter thing, that's sent by Mr. Chang.
Oh Lord.
Dun.
Yeah, it looks like a total Bond villain, which is
He was hot.
probably on purpose. Yeah.
He was cute.
So he's supposed to be like half.
Japanese, half German.
Oh, it's like half from Hong Kong and half,
Yeah, Chinese,
white
sorry.
person or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the story. That's why he's Mr. Chang
Mr.
and has all the
Chang.
swords on the wall or whatever.
We get his backstory at the end of the movie.
Yep.
When they go to confront him and kill him in his office.
I was just like, okay, sure.
So yeah, that was a lot of exposition in a very short period of time. It's like, here, let me tell you all about this guy as we enter the stairwell. So the ladies, they find this little box of they just find a little box.
Find two.
They find 2 boxes.
And they immediately forget about it. The second one.
No, they do.
Yeah,
One
sure,
of
they
them
do.
drops it after they start shooting at them.
But it's never brought up again. It's completely.
No, it's the reason why they keep chasing them around to recover the second box.
But no one knows where it is.
Well, until the end, where she points it out that she is the only one who could legally take the box, which is bullshit.
But I thought that was the first box because no one ever found the second one.
Okay.
She knew where it was
Let's
because
take
she was
this
the one
step
that
by
was holding it when she dropped it.
Sure.
Hey, there's 2 blonde girls, not one. 2 blonde girls in 2 boxes. Each blonde
one
girl
for
has a
each.
box.
Each blonde girl has a box. That's true.
But one of the
But
boxes
was it
is dropped.
dilated? No, but was the box dilated?
No.
Okay.
One of the girls has butterfingers and drops the box in the grass, and the other one is able to hold on to the box because she has opposable thumbs and is able to leave with the box in her paw. But the other one dropped the box and never thought to go back to get it until the end of the movie.
So basically, she remembers where that is. That we're to believe that she can go back and get it.
But she's not competent enough to hold on to the box to begin with. Or maybe she had to drop it to throw a star. But I couldn't tell you, to save my life, which girl threw the star.
Are we talking about
Because they look exactly the same.
Are we talking about the same box?
There's 2 boxes.
Yes, because there's 2 blondes.
Look, we're talking about 2 women who do their best thinking in the jacuzzi.
Topless.
Were they black boxes? Or are they bleached blondes?
No, because they were blonde boxes.
Only their waxer knows.
Quick question.
Yes.
So all of the women in the movie had sex except for Perky Tits, right? Right?
Oh, she did it.
How about the bodybuilder chick?
She did it on the beach with the guy that was the sportscaster.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, true.
Yeah, you're right. Totally forgot about that. Yeah,
she gets it out of the way early.
Yeah, she managed to keep her earrings on and her necklace the whole time.
Glamorous.
Yeah, totally forgot about that. You're right.
Thought that was really amazing.
So everyone got some. I like that.
Does the bodybuilder chick though, or does she just have that scene where she does like the nunchucks and she's all like oiled up?
What was that about? I was strangely aroused by that.
You like the nunchuck dance? Yeah, it was pretty hot. Okay, so after they do their best shirtless thinking in the jacuzzi and talk about the diamonds,
which they have in the jacuzzi with them, which made me so nervous.
Right? Why would you take diamonds in the jacuzzi?
Green.
Right, that and then they put it in the freezer because they're ice, and I was like, "Girl, bye." It's like, shut up.
Oh, I know.
And then like they pull the little bag out, so they're in the jacuzzi. They pull the little bag of diamonds out, and then turn it over and dump it out in their hands. And I was just like, that girl couldn't even hold on to a box. Do you think that she, or at least one of them? Do you think she's going to be able to hold onto a paw full of diamonds? One of them is going to get dropped.
Probably not.
It is going to ruin their jacuzzi, and they won't be able to think anymore.
There goes the case. Oh man.
There is a diamond stuck in the pump of my jacuzzi.
Okay,
so send Brett out to fix it. Thank you.
Next, they go to Eddie's. Now Eddie's is a pretty swinging place. It looks like a tiki bar. I would totally want to go to there. Maybe I just want to go anywhere right now, but it looks pretty
I would go
fun.
there.
Yeah,
I don't know,
totally.
man. What about the sexual harassment host dude? I think he might be a barrier to entry.
He's part of the charm. It's like free harassment with every drink.
That was rough.
Best line ever. If you go down on her, you'll be kissing the back of my head.
Ah,
And
yeah.
you know what that means.
Get it? Get it? Get it?
It was like full of uncomfortable sexual harassment and dad jokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 80s.
They overlap in a very bad way.
I'm not comfortable with this.
I'm really
But it was still
not.
kind of funny.
And that's where we get to see Andy Sidaris in cameo in his own movie. So he's like a TV director or some sort of TV exec or something. And he's talking to some blonde, chatting her up, and she's like, "You practically raped me last night."
And he's like, that was last night. This is today. Which the note I wrote from that is like Trump level gaslighting.
Wow.
That's like literally, I'm like, people talk.
Yeah.
But if it was
Accurate.
it's not necessarily Trump level because he actually admitted that he did it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, Trump would
yesterday.
have admitted it.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
It's like, I am listening to this recording of my own voice saying this thing, but I am not sure that it happened.
No, I'm not sure. It definitely didn't happen. It's lies. Okay, so it's a sub-Trump level of gaslighting. But I was just like,
Fake,
Jesus.
deep fake.
That is pretty dire. That is not a good look, Andy Sidaris. I mean, not to mention like the boyfriend who's kind of like the agent / like bad kung fu person.
Oh God.
He and his like shirtless kung fu friend are doing these like horribly racist like Asian accents, and like
They
doing
were
bad
doing
kung fu on each other. Oh my God, it was just like unbelievable. I mean,
That's
especially when like the other friend gets shot in the chest by the blow up doll skateboarder guy. And I mean, it just seems like, okay, he got shot full in the chest, but it's just like a little scratch, and he puts like a bandage on it. And then he just decides, like, I'm just not wearing shirts under any of my blazers for the rest of the movie. I'm just going to rock this bandage out and proud, which is kind of awesome.
And then
but
he got shot and he still had to drive to the hospital. The
I
other guy didn't
know,
drive.
no changing places or anything. How are you doing? I've been better. A little bit of blood on his chest. You're like, what?
So that guy, the character Jade, played by Harold Diamond, he actually was a martial artist.
Oh, wow.
Looks like one too. But the thing is, and I think he's part Asian. Not that that's important, except that it's the other character, Rowdy Abilene, that actually says the Confucius say line.
Freaking Rowdy.
Yep.
What the hell, Rowdy?
Rowdy Abilene. And so that actor, Ron Moss, was in a bunch of soap operas. That
I
was
can see it.
after that. Yeah. There is kind of another through line through these Andy Sidaris movies is that there's always a guy with the last name Abilene.
What?
So it's like
Are
almost
they
like
all related?
yeah, like they're brothers or cousins or whatever, and none of them have good aim. Like none of them can shoot well.
Okay, I can see
'Cause
it.
remember that was kind of a joke in this one. Like he has to have the rocket launcher to hit anything.
Otherwise, he can't hit anything.
Yeah, he can only hit with the rocket launcher.
Blowing up blow up dolls with a rocket launcher like you do. It's also a selectively powerful rocket launcher because outdoors he like blows up the skateboarder and the blow up doll, and then they blow up a helicopter. But indoors, when they use it to kill the cancer snake, it only just like pops the head off and doesn't destroy the whole house.
Which it
So wow,
should. Yeah, it would. have, right?
amazing adjustment by this special rocket launcher.
Oh, and it
It's a
never
fine
needed to.
instrument.
It never needed to be refilled either. It
Nope.
always had enough ammo.
I think the reason why it didn't blow up the house is because the house had belonged to the director and the producer.
Not 100% sure on that, but yeah, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean that place does kind of get destroyed in the shoot. Like there's a big mess there. Somebody
Yeah.
goes through a wall.
Yeah, never shoot in your own house.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing though. That was not, but it was so close that it probably was a fake wall that they just kind of like threw. I don't know. That whole ending sequence was just so silly. Ugh.
I mean, compared to everything else, which was basically like Citizen Kane level brilliance. Yeah, we know. But
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Such dialogue. We actually skipped over one of Shecky's favorite lines, which happens back
Oh,
at
no.
Edie's. Okay, so Seth Romero is like the main bad guy, and one of his henchmen has to come and tell him at Edie's that they lost the diamonds. And Seth Romero has an amazing line. Do you remember what it is, Shecky?
I don't. I missed this one.
If brains were bird shit,
You'd have a clean cage. I swear the lines.
that is a memorable line. That is a
Yes.
quotable,
That's really good.
right? Seth Romero is a very memorable character as well. So they break into Donna and Taryn's house to look for the diamonds, and there's a huge fight scene.
In which they
Uh,
kick ass again.
They totally kick ass.
Did you say they totally eat ass? What?
They kick ass. They
Okay.
totally, but yeah, maybe you had like the director's cut.
The gay
Yeah.
porn parody of this movie. That'd be amazing.
Right.
Would watch.
I would watch it too. Yeah.
Would be in.
The bad guys get the diamonds, but Donna shoots Seth in the face.
Which just ends up being a graze or something. Everyone who gets shot in this movie, it's like, oh, a pinprick.
Yeah, nope. If you even
bled a
get shot
little.
in the face, you think you'd be dead, right?
Or disfigured in the hospital. Yeah, it's not
With
good.
half a face. Yeah.
I mean, it's like one tiny BB hit his face or something. Basically. You know, as they say, one man's dream is another man's lunch.
Yeah, that one down too. Fantastic
That
line.
is what they say. You bastard.
Yeah, I said that I was going to use this next one on Klingon.
What's the next one?
The next one is she's so dumb she went home to study for her PAP test.
Oh!
The only culture she has is between her legs.
Oh, man.
Oh, terrible.
Now this is writing. This is why we watch Andy Sedaris movies. It's maybe not so much for this complicated plot. Oh, and the tits.
See, that's a question for our fans. How many of you have ever studied for a PAP test?
I crammed the night before.
Oh, but you're not supposed to cram the night before.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, focus, people. All right, we're back at Eddie's, and the bartender, the bartender has shifty eyes, and maybe something else she's hiding. She's
her
listening
pants.
into the in her
Ball
pants.
bag.
Didn't Klingon Vanna White totally call it? Where you're like, that's a man in drag.
I was like, either it's a lady who is like into the weightlifting circuit and has been hitting the testosterone hard, which happens, or yeah, it is a very artful drag.
Tells her, you know, you really need to do something about your tits or something, and she's like, "All right, darling, yeah." And I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like, no, because she was talking about like how she didn't have any titties, and I was like, "That's fucking mean." I was like, "Jesus." I was like, "Let her live her life." Damn.
And she's
Is
like,
that
she's
Michelle?
like shooting daggers at her, you know, like get out so I can take my shirt off and my wig off and take my man
Yeah.
horseshoe haircut outside to go follow these bitches.
He's got the
Like,
horseshoe
he was, like,
haircut
balding
and the
and stuff.
ring.
He was like balding, and I was like, "Okay, sure." I was like, "Go on, bitch." And when I texted Odessa, I'm like, "Evil drag queen. This movie's got everything."
I know, what an 80s trope, right? Like at first you're like, oh wow, there's a drag queen that works in this bar. How cool.
Really
And then
good
it
drag.
ends up being a bat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Very,
really
very
good drag though. Seriously.
Possible.
And then she ends up being the bad guy, literally.
It had tits and gender equality and
No, it
and
didn't.
okay, no, it didn't. But they
No,
were
yeah, it
trying.
didn't.
I mean, leave it to Andy Sedaris to say that, you know what, drag queens can be villains.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that say that.
Yeah. He's not special in this.
No,
This
he's
is
not.
yeah,
Oh.
this was coming up a lot. Shecky, what was that movie we watched together? Not Too Young to Die.
Oh, with Gene Simmons and
Gene Simmons as an evil sort of trans character. I mean, we could do a
I think
whole-
it's Too Young to Die, isn't it? It was because it was
Yeah.
him and it was Jesse from
Full House.
Full House.
Oh
keep
my
going.
god.
I'll find it for us.
It's got
Yeah.
Stamos in it.
Yes.
It's got Stamos and Gene Simmons. And Gene Simmons' character is very complicated.
Very complicated. Never Too Young to Die.
Never Too Young to Die. Thank you.
86. We might have to watch it.
Ooh, it predates this by a year.
Yeah, it's got Vanity in it too. And a nod to James Bond, George Lazenby. It all goes back to Lazenby.
Yeah. So the function of the drag queen bartender seems to be to listen into phone calls and be a go-between informant to all the bad guys. So she lets the bad guys know that Rowdy, Abilene, and Jade have been contacted to come help. And what are they? DEA agents as well?
Sure.
They keep talking
not?
about the goddamn agency, but I was like, is this a modeling agency? A stripping agency? Like, I don't really see much evidence other than like
They're male strippers.
I think
weird
it's
guns.
it's Charlie's Angels. Like Charlie's Angels is an agency. I think that's what their agency is like. Except they let bimbos in it.
Yeah, I didn't know where they're working for or what they were doing. I was just kind of like, sure, okay.
So when they're on their way to come help, this is where the guy on the skateboard appears. Our hero, Russell Howell.
Amazing stunts. And what logic? He's handstand skateboards past them just to convince them that he's just some random joker. And then he comes back around another pass with like a blow-up doll covering his gun.
Is that
Then
wise?
they see the gun.
Is that why?
But then they see the gun when he
No.
gets closer. Well, he gets pretty
Very
close before they see the gun. I don't know. They're just thinking like, oh, what do they say? Like, oh, they said something about this guy being like gone on
He's
weed
on
or
the
something.
Or some nut job. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huge doobies. He's on huge doobies.
Must have smoked a
Or
really big doobie, you know?
Huge doobies.
And then like, wait a second, he's got a gun.
If you're gonna go undercover, make sure that you blend in.
Yeah, he was
On
so
your
blending in.
handstand. Right?
Don't forget
Then
your
somehow
doobies.
he was able to skateboard down a hill, then skateboard back up the hill fast enough to get in front of the car, so that then they could
No,
pass
but
it
it's like
again.
he got in the Jeep. He skateboarded down to the Jeep.
that's
The Jeep
right.
caught him past the other car going up, and then he like starts skateboarding down the hill
It
again.
wasn't really a Jeep though. It was like a weird, short, chopped up car, like a small passenger car that had been back end had been cut off, and then the flatbed had been put on it.
But how could he not know that what was happening? That's the thing I didn't understand. It's like you just saw this guy pass you, and now he's passing you again, and he's coming back. It's like I'd have
He's got
been
a blow-up doll?
and a blow up doll. Like,
A blow up
Like,
doll.
look out, he's got a blow up doll.
Well, the blow up doll seemed to be filled with hydrogen, like the Hindenburg.
That's
the
right.
way that
Yeah.
the way that it exploded.
They have to blow up the blow up doll. It
I'm
just
so upset about that.
couldn't just leave it. Yeah.
It's the Hinden boobs.
Hinden boobs. Okay, that's the title of this episode.
So I texted Odessa. What the hell did the blow up doll ever do? Seriously, she was an unwitting accomplice. You know.
Victim of the patriarchy is what I say.
Yep.
That is correct. Just like every other female in this movie and female impersonator.
Nah, she's just evil.
So just about this time when you're like, hey, weren't there honeymooners that they flew to some part of the island? Well,
For like
I
a
thought they
day.
left them
Yeah.
there for 2 days. Did it seem like there was 2 nights between when they picked them up and dropped them off? And when they dropped them off, they're like,
Yep.
we're going to be back tomorrow morning. And then it was just like 2
Yeah.
nights passed. And then they're like, oh, geez, do we go pick up these people up that haven't had any food or anything for 2 days?
it might have been 24 hours. I think that was, well, they said it
Okay.
was supposed to be 24 hours. I don't know.
But
I don't
it's
know.
just
But
like
we
for
don't,
whatever
we're not
reason-
picking them up yet. We just go see them and they're like taking like naughty photos.
Mm-hmm.
Honeymoon. And then that fucking snake. That
Fucking
cancer
snake.
snake.
He's like, you thought you forgot me, but I forgot about you, bitch. Ah.
Right. Just like flies at their faces.
I'm an evil snake.
Okay, so then we're like back at Eddie's place, and she's got to go pick up Rowdy. I guess they're involved. They're a thing. You kind of get the idea they're a thing from their phone call.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
Because he says something like, "I want to see your toy," and you're like, wow, that's really romantic.
It's so hot.
Oh, I got hot and bothered.
I just wonder, I mean, it's like, okay, I know there's like lots of boobs in this movie, but like, has anyone actually found any of this remotely hot? You know, like, even,
I
oh
think
my
a lot
God,
of
the
the-
so-called like sex scenes in the movie, you're just like, oh, cringy dialogue. What is
She
happening?
has
It's horrible.
sex with Rowdy and the other couples in the other room. Like he's sitting on the chair with his legs spread. She's kneeling down. She's like not giving him head or anything. And she's got her arms between, hidden, like where his crotch would be. Who knows what's going on there? And he's like, oh, like so moaning so loud that they turn on up the music. And I'm like, what did she do? Just like kissed him? What's going on here?
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what happened. She's giving him the hard ticket to Hawaii.
Sure it was.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was awkward. All the sex scenes are so awkward.
so awkward.
Yeah,
It's the
but
only one I
do think
remember.
that the one on the beach, the
Oh, yeah,
earlier
yeah,
one
there
for
was-
Taryn. Yeah.
Oops, forgot about that one already. Yeah, the necklace. Okay, so there's Taryn.
Oh yeah,
on the
Taryn.
beach.
Taryn goes to go save Rowdy and Jade, but the henchmen follow her, and then they like grab her and they throw her in the van. And they take her away.
Oh, and then they put her in that like easily escapable predicament bondage.
That
It's
is-
not really
yeah.
predicament because it's just too easily escapable. I mean, let's be honest.
Is it?
Like your hands are on a pulley system and you can kind of move the pulley around so you could kind of do what you want.
Oh, but they have like the nunchuck muscle chick in charge of her
Oh,
though
what?
the whole time.
Oh,
I
that's
know,
true.
it's
I
hot.
mean,
And they don't let
that's
us watch
pretty
any of that.
Yeah, and if she escapes, she has to watch that woman dance. That's her punishment.
Oh, is that what the dancing part was about? That was the threat. You
Yes.
escape, you get a nunchuck fitness demonstration that's really going to turn you on, and your
That's
brain won't know
right.
how to handle it, and it's
Actually
going to
the hottest
explode
part of the movie.
easily.
So the thing that upset me though about that whole scene is that they steal the girl, take her back to their McMansion on the island, and then the four of them, so Taryn, Mr. Side Pony, and Rowdy and Donna all go to some place like house to like hang out and stay all night long while they're torturing the other guy's girlfriend, Side Pony guy's girlfriend.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, they're
and
drinking, having a good time, loading guns.
so pissed off. Yeah, loading weird guns too. Like, oh, isn't that a flare? I was just like, what? And then another one was just like, isn't that one of those like, things that shoots spears under the water? And then like this tiny pea shooter, like a bunch of really weird guns.
Yeah, it is an odd arsenal that they've got there. They're just like
All-
prepared for
all-
everything.
Separate types of weird bullets, so it's just like, well, once you run out of this handful of weird bullets, this gun is no longer useful because we're using 5 different types of ammunition here. It was weird. And if I was her, the girl, unless something seriously hot went on with the bodybuilder that they didn't show us when she was torturing or quote unquote torturing, I'd be pissed off if I was that girl left there overnight at the weird McMansion lair.
While
And
your
then
boyfriend's
while they were
listening
partying.
to sex in the next room.
And
Yeah.
drinking mouth mixed martinis.
Oh God, the martinis.
I was like, what's going on? He shakes up a bottle of vodka and he's like shaken. So it's just like, okay, so it's a room temperature vodka, and he puts a twist of lemon in his mouth and just swigs the vodka. Like, what is happening? That's a martini. That's what passes as a martini in this movie.
Yes, it's shaken in his mouth.
I mean, that's part of the hard ticket, right? Hard cocktails straight in your mouth.
Sorry, I had to step away for a minute. I had to check my toilet to see if there was a toilet snake in it.
Was
I
there?
mean, a snake that I didn't put in there. So,
Aw.
so no, it's fine.
Any extra toilet snakes
No.
in my toilet?
It was a brown snake. So were you talking about the sex scene where they all get together and she tells him to shut up or can you keep it down? He's like, no. And I was like, aw. And then they start laughing at them. What the hell?
Yeah, what
Fucking haters.
sexual act was happening there?
Yeah, we
I
couldn't
don't
figure
know.
that one out.
Probably he was having sex with her belly button. Maybe, I don't know.
Wasn't there some line about like, I'll suck your toes so hard that I'll suck the polish straight
Yes.
off or something? And
Yeah,
I was like,
suck
that's
your-
some hardcore
Yeah.
shrimping, like
It's
Yes,
very
he
being
did say
promised
that.
there. That's amazing.
He did say that he would
Okay,
suck so hard that
well.
her polish would come off her toes. And I was like, damn, all right. Work it out, guy.
Shrimping? Is that what it's called when you suck on somebody's toes?
Yes.
You didn't know what shrimping? Yeah, it's shrimping.
That's
Oh, that makes
amazing.
that made me curl my toes in revulsion. Like it does look like a little shrimp.
Are you hiding your
disgusting.
shrimps?
Yeah.
Hey, don't kink shame.
Yeah, don't kink shame the shrimp people.
Half our listeners are shrimpers.
Yeah.
I
They
am
will
sorry,
stick they will stick the Gordon's fisherman on your ass if you don't say you're sorry.
Oh God.
I'll put a picture of my feet in the special people's room.
That'll
The
satiate them.
Yeah, they demand it.
We
Either of
demand
you
put
guys-
on
Have you
toes.
guys ever dated somebody with a foot fetish?
No, I've never
Maybe.
dated with this.
Maybe.
No.
I dated a
did.
shrimp boat captain. That's what he called himself. It was great.
He
Yeah.
sounds more fun than the one I dated.
Yeah. No, he was totally fun, lovely person. You know.
See, no, some of the guys that I fuck around with, I don't want to do anything with their toes. So I'm like, nope. Are
Oh, guys have the worst feet.
you kidding?
No.
Ew. Mean.
Well, your feet are probably fine. But in general, I don't want some guy's foot in my mouth.
I don't want anybody's foot in my mouth, not even my own.
Not
I
even
wish-
your own. I'd be impressed if you get your foot into your mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Me too.
Like in an actual sense.
Like, damn, girl.
Torsion shit.
Okay, so the four of them they need to save Eddie, right? And so they're trying to track down how they can get to where she's being held captive. And Donna and Taryn, they locate Shades. He's like out on the beach playing frisbee with one arm, while the other one has a machine gun in it, and he's playing frisbee with
Plays
some
frisbee.
chick. Yeah.
Some local girl who has a dog who's in alarmed by a guy that plays frisbee with her with an AR-15.
Yeah,
Nope.
that just doesn't bother her. She's like, hey, I guess, I'll play frisbee with whoever.
They
He's
swing it
very
around.
serious. He's serious about throwing. The gun just means he's serious.
Super cereal.
For cereal.
Did you notice how his gun has its own like little bed too? Like it has its own
Yes.
house, the rocks.
Yes.
So it can get
It's-
some sun.
That's
Yeah,
probably,
so
probably a
Great.
prop they were borrowing, and they were like, dude, you can't fuck this gun up. I know.
cannot put my gun down in the sand, you fucktards. Not like you did when you were doing that hard. What was the other one? The Malibu Express or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want any of my guns coming back here full of sand for you fucktards.
They
Shit
couldn't
costs
get their
money.
deposit back. So they come up with this plan that Rowdy's gonna go play frisbee with this guy, Shades.
Oh my god.
And so he outfits a frisbee full of razor blades.
Some of the
Damn.
strongest razor blades ever, and he wants to throw that. He's supposed to throw that frisbee so hard.
And he's able to reach into his bag without slicing his hand up.
Somehow, yeah.
Oh,
Like, whatever, kid.
So the frisbee just like slashes Shade's neck. Just
And
slashes
cuts his
him
fingers
open.
off. And his
His
finger out.
fingers too.
There's some confusion there. I think his fingers get slashed and then you see them and they're back on. It's like
back on.
How many of you were upset that he didn't raid that complex in just his Speedo and his shirt? 'Cause I totally
was a-
looked over
yeah.
at Paul and I was like, he's gonna raid this compound in just a Speedo, watch. He's like,
Rowdy does have a good look. Mhm.
and he was like, no, he's gonna change. I'm like, no, and then he changed, and I was like, son of a bitch.
He put pants on for the raid.
I was mad.
I love that Speedo. It was like a string Speedo. I've never seen a guy wearing anything like that in the last 20 years.
Are you gonna buy that for your special bow?
I don't think international mail exists anymore, does it?
Brought to you by the International Mail Catalog.
You know, you can probably find something even more risque nowadays.
Would you call that a banana hammock?
Yes,
Okay, just checking. I asking for a friend.
sure.
Bananahammocks.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Klingon, can you buy that domain real quick?
All right, I'm gonna check it, see if I'm sure it's taken.
How about bananahammock.org?
People.
Bananahammock.organ.
Oh!
Oh,
These are the jokes, people. These are the jokes.
This is
I
why
can't
you
take
came.
any of you seriously.
I know we're so off topic here. We need to focus. We just like this movie is so focused. We also need to focus. Okay, so they like go to the compound and they just like start shooting all of Seth's people.
Which there are not that many of when you think about it.
No, Seth Romero does not have a very big posse.
But they're all incredibly skilled and worthy opponents.
That whole fight scene, I was like, why?
Also, they could save Edie, and so Jade can say, "Ah, you're looking kind of sexy in all these ropes." It's like, dude, she's just been traumatized.
He says, kinky sex. I'll go get the midgets and the whips. I told you, these golden lines. These lines are golden.
You're right. That is poetry.
You're like, she's tied up unconsensually in a villain's lair, dude.
Yeah, don't take advantage
Use
of this.
phrasing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are we still using phrasing? Okay, they save the day, right? But then like Donna's home alone and Seth Romero shows up. Like the bad penny he is with the maxi pad on his face. And
Ew.
I wanted to pour blue liquid on him so bad.
to see his absorbency.
Yes. I wanted to know if he could be used for a heavy night. But he did not have wings.
The darn thing did not have wings.
No, he could not fly.
He does have a heavy flow face.
And honestly, did she go home? Because at first I was like, why are they leaving her alone by herself? And everyone jumps in the van and heads out. And then they realize that no one shot Romero or whatever. I don't know. And then he exits out the back of the van in the motorcycle. And I'm thinking to myself, why do they just turn the van around? Like, what are these other two people doing that is so important that they can't go help save this woman? I was over it.
In all movies, everyone must split up.
It was dumb.
Split up for safety.
Or like, where was that giant motorcycle the second before when the other woman was laying down in the back of the van?
I don't know, but it wasn't in the Astro van because we were in there too, and it was not in there.
Nope.
I felt like it was pretty roomy inside of there.
That was like, at that point I was like, I can't. That totally took me out of the movie. I couldn't take it seriously after that. I was like, I'm done.
So it's like in the last 10 minutes, you're like, fuck this movie.
No, there was a scene later that really brought me into the movie, and I was just like, you know what? In Hawaii, that shit could happen.
Cancer snakes in every toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she was running through her garden at the beginning of the movie, before she shot Romero in the face, like she tripped over a plastic lid that was in her garden.
Yeah.
And then somehow we're all supposed to have that in our common vernacular, where that is the way that the snake somehow got in her toilet. Somebody had to explain this to me later after the movie, because I'm just like, how did the snake get in there? And it's just like, oh, because back at the beginning of the movie, before she was, after she was roughed up by the two hapless idiots, and they took the one box of diamonds, ran through the garden. She tripped over that plastic lid and never put it back and shot him in the face.
Yep.
Like, how are they supposed to know that that's how the snake got into the...
You're supposed to remember it.
It's like a septic tank or something.
Well, no. See, you guys are like just going all over the majesty of the script. See, it's a callback. See, Andy knew what he was doing. This is a director that has been shafted by the Academy way too many times.
Amen.
Yeah,
like Christopher Nolan level shit.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like, Anton Chekhov said, if someone's gonna get shot in the final act of the play, you have to have that gun up on the wall in the first act. Like you have to hint as to what's going to happen. So indeed, that septic tank lid was the gun on the wall in the Chekhov play.
And the snake in the crate.
That's
That
right.
too. That's the very first scene.
The motherfucking cancer snake in the crate.
Snakes in a crate.
Snakes in a
On a
crate.
plane.
Yeah, I kind
I
of
mean-
leaned over. I kind of leaned over to Paul and said, "You know that snake's gonna fucking kill the guy at the end, right?" He was just like, "Probably."
I was already kind of like, because they said that the snake would die in 36 hours. So I was just like, well, the snake's about to die at any minute, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, in the movie time, like several days have passed. So I would think it was 36 hours. But then the snake exploded out of the toilet 3 times the size that it was before, with its
Amazing.
girth so big that it destroyed the toilet.
Really
Literally,
did.
like at that point, I was so into this movie. I was like, yes, 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 yes. I got to see every movie this man has made. Yes, bring me, Andy Sedaris.
This is now Speakeasily versus Andy Sedaris. We're just going to do all his films now.
But this is the
That's
best
pretty good.
one. This is the best one.
Just how it happened. She flushed the toilet, and then the fucker exploded, right? And then the snake kind of came out twisting like a god, and the smoke, and it was like that scene in Conan when James Earl Jones fucking turned into a snake. It was like that. It was just so amazing. If Bolero had been playing during that scene in the movie, I would have. Oh my god, I would have plotzed. Loved it. Fantastic.
Somebody please do a re-edit of this movie. With that soundtrack.
I think Klingon Vanna White, either Klingon Vanna White or Adessa pointed out that like the snake looks at itself in the bathroom mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kills it. And
It's such a beautifully meta moment. Yeah, I love
It
it.
really is. Yeah, the snake
I'm a snake.
sees himself in the mirror and gets angry. And he's like, how come no one told me I'm a fucking snake?
well, maybe he had realized his own mortality because he was dying of cancer. Ever think of that?
Oh
yeah.
shit. You're right. He saw his own soul when he looked in the mirror.
And
But we're kind of skipping over the Rasputin-like tenacity of Seth because
Dude,
he
Survivor.
comes- yeah, he he gets shot by with a harpoon by Donna, and then she kicks him a bunch of times, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she
Yeah.
stabs him, right?
Stabs him. Yep.
Yeah, because he pops back up, and then she stabs him, and then
Did she have a
he's not.
little gun too. Oh, she shot the little gun at the snake.
Yeah, he got Seth and the snake confused, which is quite easy to do.
Whatever.
So he comes back a third time, and the snake gets him.
Yeah, and then he comes through the window or the side of the wall in order
Rowdy
to save her. Rowdy. To
Rowdy.
save her.
bursts through the wall on his motorcycle that he stole from the Astrovan that he stole. And she shoots her little gun directly into the snake's mouth, which does nothing to the snake.
No.
But the
Rewound
rocket
it.
launcher.
No. Rewound it. She
Okay.
shot off both of its fangs, and then the fangs were back in it. When Rowdy blew it up with the rocket launcher. She shot its fangs off.
Shecky, I never
They had to
noticed
bring
that.
in the stunt snake for that.
Oh my
Stunt
god.
snake had fangs.
I need to get I definitely need a better prescription. I did not see that.
Yep. That's why I was like, damn, this is a good shot. I was like, get it, girl.
But so Rowdy, of course, shoots it with the rocket launcher.
Blows its head off.
But only its head, and everything around it is unscathed. Amazing.
Yeah, the house is still there. So you think that's the end of the movie? That's ending number 1. But no. It
And
isn't.
then we got a fucking Lord of the Rings ending.
Gotta deal with Mr. Chang now. So they get dressed up in all the fabric they could find.
Not a lot.
They're wearing layers. They're wearing weird tents and things.
Ensembles. They are wearing full ensembles with many patterns of ensembles.
True, but there are still bras for shirts underneath.
Of course.
Yeah. Because if you wear 4 layers of fabric, you have to have your bra showing.
That's right. I love the bra shirt. And so they drive up to Mr. Chang's like high rise. They're ready to take him down. So Rowdy and Donna go up, and this is where we were saying earlier. You get the incredibly condensed backstory on Mr. Chang as they walk up the stairs. Like this is the first time we hear. Am I right? This is the first time we hear about his background.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was international like thief, and he was raised in or born in China, and has a British mom or something, and so he's well educated and British, but he has like triad gang affiliation and stuff. So
like villains often are. They're exotic and
as you do,
as you do.
Exotic and yet still look like potato farmers.
Right. With bleached hair. That's the important part. Yeah, Rowdy and Donna, they shoot him and he just falls out of a window.
No.
Okay, you take it over.
He pulls out they bust in. Like, this man has obviously no security except for the one big buff blonde guy, no secretary, no nothing. They walk in and they proceed to beat the crap out of his bodyguard. Literally puts up no fight. I felt bad for that guy. I was like, God damn. I was you just got...
Yeah,
they just whooped his ass. And then as he's getting his ass whooped with the nunchucks and shit, he pulls out a samurai sword and they tell him, you're gonna, you need to surrender because we found your shit and blah, blah, blah. And he says the most memorable line, the last line. He says, "You're coming with us." And he says, "In a pig's arse."
Yeah.
and then he throws the samurai sword at them as they shoot him out the window. I was like, what?
And Rowdy says, "Did he just say in a pig's ass?"
Pig's ass? Oh my god, the fucking movie is gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
And then he says, and Rowdy says, Thanks, you babe, for shooting him, because of course Rowdy fucking missed, right? And then so she shoots him because he has his little Derringer, and she has a fucking Colt 45, or whatever, this big ass gun she shoots him and blows him out the window. And then he's like, "Thanks, babe." And she fucking pulls her hands down and like kisses the barrel of the gun. And I keep thinking to myself, that barrel would be so fucking hot. It would have fucking singed her lips off, but whatever.
You're right. You're right.
So I was like, whatever.
He's got that moment too where he looks at his little gun and then big gun and he suddenly feels inadequate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's special.
Cool. I thought he was cool with it personally. I thought he was like, doesn't he give a little nod? He's like, "Sure, man. You can have a bigger gun than me. That's great." I don't know. I didn't see it as insecure. I was like, that's pretty progressive. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And that does go back to the fisting scene in some way.
It does go back to the fisting scene. It really does.
He's a delicate flower.
Okay, so
you guys thought that she was fisting his ass?
I mean, in that position, what else could be happening?
It didn't look like she was jacking him off. She wasn't moving her shoulders or anything. I think that she just stuck her finger in his butt and was just like jiggling it around. And he's like, "Oh,
I could see it."
I mean, that could be eating lunch, right?
No. And if you look at her fingernails, her fingernails were kind of stubbed, so she didn't have like long nails. So
no, she had really long pink fingernails.
Then who was the one that had the stubby nails?
The stubby nails was the bartender that was the guy.
The drag queen, yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was just like, "Oh yeah. She's definitely a guy."
Okay,
because
makes sense.
He's got to pass as a guy a little bit of the time.
He's pretty femme as a guy, gotta say.
Looking actually,
like later, yeah. I mean, he looks like a very femme accountant.
Yeah, it was kind of hot. It was like kind of hot accountant, librarian dude. It's like, meet me back in the stacks, dude.
Secret life, totally. Only not hot. Okay. Sorry.
That's kind of hot.
Everyone we're gonna wrap this up just like
for me. Never mind. Okay.
That's not what this is about. The eye of the beholder.
I just want our listeners to let us know if they want us to do the rest of his movies, because we're probably going to do them anyway without just saying yes or no. But just let us know.
Yeah, we do whatever we want.
This is the best one. It's a
It's an
no.
F. It's
This
an
is
F.
this is the pinnacle of the whole series. Like, why just what else is there to say?
Malibu Express
Seen
is
them all?
pretty good. It's not
But it's not as good as this.
Yeah. This is
the
true.
best.
This is true. So we see them at the end when they're all like on the Malibu Express, ha ha ha, the boat, and they're all celebrating with champagne and toasting to
Huh.
each other and themselves, and they're all like pretty self-satisfied, right? And that's
Yep.
when we find out about, hey, whatever happened to those other diamonds?
Because they never thought about him before then. And then the Butterfinger girl with the smaller areolas. What was her name? Which one was it? Was it Donna?
Taryn.
Taryn.
Taryn, yeah, suddenly then I guess it's out of she was in the witness protection program and she's the only one that's legally allowed to steal diamonds that's not hers. And then
Yeah.
fence them and give it and then they could split all the money because the rest of them are
And go on a
federal
vacation.
agents and they're not allowed to do that. It was like, what kind of crazy logic is this?
It's Sedaris logic.
Yeah.
It's agency rules, man. It's a complicated organization with a lot of codes.
Why did they need to go
What?
on vacation when they're already in Hawaii?
They needed to go on another island.
I don't know. Sometimes you just want to go somewhere where you have to wear pants.
They want to go to San Francisco and it be in the rain.
Wear
Look, you
pants.
guys, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Don't pick it apart, okay? Come on.
It is a masterpiece of shit, and I love it so much.
Question: did you guys like buy this? Did you rent it? Did you watch it on YouTube? How did you watch it?
Rented.
I have it on DVD.
Yes, you do.
So we tried to watch it on YouTube, and the resolution was so bad we couldn't see anyone's faces. It was just like it looked like Minecraft characters walking around. We're like, okay, Paul, and even Paul was like, "Fuck this, no, buy it. We'll rent it, right?" And then
It was
when you go to-
99 cents.
No, it was $1.99. So you owe me $1. Just kidding. Anyway.
I wanted to get the HD version because if I'm going to see that many boobs, I'm going to HD.
They didn't really change anything. Just we could see areolas and how dilated they were, but that was about it.
That's a detail you need. Actually,
It was.
you had you had good enough resolution that you could see the fangs on the snake. So
Yeah,
that's
and the
impressive.
sumo wrestlers too. What was the whole sumo wrestler part about? That was so silly. But anyway,
That was weird. I totally forgot about that.
yeah. the
And
sumo
then,
wrestlers.
like the thing was that the one girl had to go speak Spanish to the sumo wrestlers to distract them from the fact that the
my
other
God.
girl was using the payphone.
I don't understand
She's
that.
like, I can communicate with
Thousand.
anybody. I can pick up any language. And then it's like 2 Spanish words, a little bit of French, a bunch of English, some made up shit. Like,
It was very silly, but it was nice eye candy. So,
The sumo wrestlers were the eye candy for you.
duh.
I'm just confirming.
Yes. Yes. Those are some very dilated areolas they had, and I was very happy with
That's
that.
true. Yeah. You do like men in diapers.
Yes.
I just want to point out for our listeners that you can also watch this movie for free on Tubi. You just have to sit through a bunch of commercials for, like Gold Bond medicated foot powder and stuff.
Hey,
Yeah, totally worth it.
put that on your crotch.
Annalyn, thank you so much for suggesting this because, boy, did we have fun watching that.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. I was blown away, like a snake in a toilet. I needed that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks for diving into this, awesome 80s camp cheese classic with me. It's pretty great.
Oh,
It was
is
fantastic.
a classic. Yes. And for our listeners who want to know more about you, Annalyn Bond, where should they go? Instagram?
Yeah, I am Annalyn Bond on Instagram.
So Annalyn, ANNALYN.
And then
B-O-N-D.
Bond, as in
Yeah.
like James Bond.
You're so like Taryn in this movie.
Well, I had a dream that Daniel Craig passed the mantle on to me and I was 008. And I woke up and I'm like, I'm rocking with that. I can handle that. Yeah. So
For it.
That's where your name came from? That's amazing.
Yeah. Daniel Craig passes it on to you. You got to run with it.
Check out Annalyn Bond on Instagram and see all the amazing costumes and maybe even some cat photos. There are
Tons of cat photos.
cat photos there. Okay.
Costumes. Pretty great.
Thank you, everyone. You've certainly been an audience. Good night.
Bye.